Okay, so welcome back. So now we are going to discuss regarding paper 2, and most importantly, we are going to discuss regarding drafting part. Okay, so I would say that please be serious in this session. So drafting for exam purpose and drafting in real life are completely different. Many people misunderstand these two parts, and they try to be very perfectionist in the paper 2 part while drafting, and they do not pay attention to the key things that need to be there, and therefore although their English is good, far better than anyone, their understanding is good, but they cannot qualify paper 2. Okay, therefore this session is very important, so please pay attention to it. And okay, so you see, paper 2, what it says, this paper consists of 3 parts: part A 20 marks, part B 30 marks, and part C 50 marks. All questions in part A and B are compulsory. Okay, so there is no like 5 out of 10 or something like this. All questions are compulsory, you have to answer it. Part C comprises part C1 of 20 marks and C2 of 30 marks. Part C1 consists of 2 questions, and the candidate is required to answer any one of them. Okay, part C1 consists of 2 questions, but you are required to answer any one of them. Part C2 consists of 2 questions, and candidate is required to answer any one of them. Okay, so A and B is compulsory, but in part C and C2, C1, C2, you have choice. Okay, you can do it like this. In case a candidate answers more questions than required, the first attempted question shall be evaluated. So this is pertains to C1 and C2. So I don't think you will have more time to attend. What happens that sometimes you started to attempt one part of it, but you feel that somehow or other you are not good at. For example, you thought that drafting the first part is easier, okay, initially, and you started writing it, and in the middle you thought, array to very difficult, I cannot do this. You leave it out and you start attempting the second question on, and you finish second question on, but you will not get marks, because what it says, in case a candidate answers more questions than required, first attempted questions shall be evaluated, and the first attempted questions was not completed by you, so you are not going to get marks. So please don't repeat this mistake. I know from experience many people have done this mistake in the past, that they started with some section and later they found that they cannot complete the sections, so question, so they started writing the second question. So because this was incomplete, 0 marks means, so out of 30 you get straight 0. No clarifications will be provided during the course examination. That is okay. There is no negative marking. That is very good for us. Okay. So part A, write a short note on non-patentable inventions within the provision of the Patent Act 1970. So what are you going to write here?
So section 3.
Section 3.
Section 3.
And how will you write? Just section 3.
No, according to the Patent Act 1970, that like manner you said before.
Correct. What will write?
From section A to section P.
Yeah, 3A to 3P. Okay. But always remember that you don't have to write the entire script as it is written in the section, in the book. Okay. So write a short note on non-patentable invention within the provision of the Patent Act 1970. Okay. So we just start section 3. Okay. So already you start the word with section 3. Not start with non-patentable invention within the provision of the Patent Act 1970 comes under section 3. Do you get the point? What I want to say? If we start writing like this, non-patentable invention within the provision of the Patent Act 1970 is covered in section 3. Okay, so you have already written this many words that are going to kill your time. Always be specific. So you understood that this question 1 is regarding section 3. Start from writing section 3. Section 3 of the Patent Act 1970 is about non-patentable inventions. Okay, then write section 3A. You can write 3 and A. Let me do this. No, not this one. Okay, you can write 3A like this. We just start at section 3A like this, and then keep writing. Okay, you got the point? Okay, a psychiatrist of Mumbai develops a music therapy. Or okay, next point here. Suppose you are writing section 3A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. But because you're in a hurry and you're not able to, remember some points, what will you do? Can anyone tell?
So leave space for that particular point and move ahead.
Correct. So I told you how to answer the question. Always, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 questions, and all 4 questions have to be attempted. Please don't leave any question unattempted. Okay, that will be the greatest mistake on your part. So 20 marks means 5 marks is question. Okay, so 3A, you are not able to recall what is 3A. 3A kya tha? 3A kya tha? 3A kya tha? Then don't write the wrong answer here. Just write 3A, leave a line blank here. 3B, 3C, 3D, 3E, 3 kya tha? नहीं आ रहा. 3F, 3A आ रहा. 3P क्या था? नहीं आ रहा. छोड़ दो. Leave the blank. Move ahead. Okay, leave the blank. Later on, you will be able to recall this. Sometimes it happens that you are writing some answer to some questions and it will suddenly pop up in your mind. Just go to the session and write it. Okay, so always leave the blank. Okay, then question number 2. A psychiatrist of Mumbai develops a music therapy for his schizophrenic patient, which has tremendous impact on them and helps them to get rid of many of the symptoms of schizophrenia. The doctor attended one awareness program for patent filing and being motivated, approached you for advice as a registered patent agent. What do you suggest him? Yes, anyone would like to answer this question? How we are going to attempt this question? See, your answers may not be right or wrong. Okay, I'm not bothered about that. I'm just discussing how to attempt these questions. So can you make out under which section this is talking about?
Yes, sir. 3L.
Correct.
Music or literary.
3-1L.
Yes, 3-1.
Correct. Okay. So see, always you need to identify whenever a person comes to you for the patent filing, patent will be filed only for the invention, right? Okay. So the doctor attended one awareness program. So these are all not that important for our answers. Approached you for the advice as a registered patent agent. What do you suggest? Okay. So he is approached. So what do you think he is approached for you? What he has developed? What is his invention? His invention is a music therapy. Okay, music therapy for schizophrenic patients. Okay, so there are many angles to these questions. Angle 1, music itself. Okay, so music itself comes under section L.
3-1L. Yes.
Okay, a literally dramatic, musical, artistic work or any other artistic creation whatsoever, including cinematographic work and television or production. These are not patentable. And then, what is this purpose of this music? Music is a therapy.
Therapy.
So what which section comes about? Therapy?
3I.
3I. any process of medicinal, surgical, and curative, right? This is the curative therapy, right? Curative, right? So curative. So section 3L comes here, again section 3I comes here. Okay. So music is one, therapy is one. Okay. So how we are going to start writing? According to section 3L, this, and section 3I, this, and underline those things. Please, if don't forget to underline the sections that you write. Immediately you write section 3L, underline this. Then write something. Section 3I, underline this, and then write something. So you can write in your own words. Exact word need not be there, and then you can say. So I have written 2-3 angles to it. We'll discuss later. But this is how you need to identify. Next, one client A has come to office for seeking advice regarding assignment of a solar cooktop, which B has already patented. Okay. A has come to office for seeking advice regarding assignment for a solar cooktop, which B has already patented. As a practicing patent agent, be thinking about the applicable issues as per a patent act rules to your client A. Very simple. So B has a patent and A advising regarding assignments. And you need to suggest him. So which section it comes about?
Section 126, assignment.
Yeah, everyone open. Section 126. I will also open. This
sorry, it's not 126 actually. Section 68. 68.
68.
Yes, 68. Assignment, etc., not to be valid unless in writing and duly executed.
Okay, so you have got extra steps. Okay, please try out. So although this is being recorded and I'm going to post on YouTube, but this will be very good for others also who are listening to this conversations and for you also. 68. So one has come for you regarding assignment, and suddenly you ask him that according to section 68, you need to be registered in register office. Okay, this is one part of it, right?
Yes, and then section 69 is also there, registration of assignment, transmissions, etc.
Correct. So you can the one advice you can give is under section 68 and section 69, underline. Okay, those assignments, everything has to be registered in the patent office. Very simple language. You don't have to write everything unless these that nothing. So this talks about that has to be duly executed and has to be registered, right? Anything
Yes.
else?
And here it talks about, because it which has B has already patented, so transmission is required. That's why section 69 will also be mentioned here.
Okay. Okay, and anything else?
So we have to mention on which form we can file
Act and rule.
in a prescribed
Which
form and fees.
form? Which form?
Form 6. Form 6.
Good. You are coming in good way. Which?
Yeah.
Okay. And what more? What's
rules,
more?
sir. Rules. Rule 34(1), 35(1), and 36(1).
Okay. Good. What's more? So see, I'm not checking out. Okay, whatever you are saying, I'm not checking out. You are telling correct or you are wrong. I'm just looking for the approach. Okay. What more? So you have to mention sections, underline, rules, underline, forms and fees, underline. Don't forget to don't always underline those things. And whatever we studied today, that is also most important. What is section 140? And what is the certain restrictive conditions?
Okay.
That is the most important advice from your side. So now you understood the why I'm asking you to practice flow charts, right? If you make flow charts, everything comes in picture. So someone has come to you asking for the assignment. So assignment, first thing is like, see, there could be many advice here. And I wrote many of the things here. And like one advice is you have to prepare assignments. Have you approached B? Okay. So one is like if you approach the B and if he is not ready to give you to this B, then the entire section of compulsory licensing comes into picture. Okay, it's okay now? Okay, so you can write. So this is one advice. So if he does not, he's not ready to give you the assignment on reasonable terms, then the compulsory license route can be taken. So if you just mention this, it shows that you know this. Again, during the assignment, you must avoid certain restrictive condition as mentioned in section 140. So you can write few paragraph from this. And once the assignment is done, then under section 68 and section 69, this form, this fees under this rule has to be done. So these three steps are to be mentioned here. Okay, right? Clear, na?
Sir, I think here it should only be related to transmission of rights because it is assignment, not related to actually licensing part.
Okay, so you feel so good. So, but I also wrote regarding this licensing part also.
Okay.
I said, so regarding assignment, so I took it like this. So it's not that I was correct. Regarding assignment, so I took it this way that he has come for assignment, okay, and if the B is not ready to give assignment,
okay,
then this compulsory license also comes in picture, okay. But the most important part of it is section 140. Section 140, section 68, and section 69 are the most important part of it. Section 84 is compulsory licensing is additionally that I gave it. Okay. Okay. So although I'm talking about section 140, section 68, section 69, section 184, but write in very brief. Don't have to write much more things. And if you think that you can write something extra which is not coming in your mind, leave a space. Always leave a space. Keep always make a habit of leaving some space so that you can write something extra if time permits. Number 4, a grant of patent is based on certain condition as stipulated in section 47 Patent Act. Briefly explain those conditions. So you can see this question is directly asking to write use section 47. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this time also you will get similar kind of situation, similar kind of sections to write. Therefore, this memorizing section are important. They may ask you regarding compulsory licensing, right? Briefly explain the process of compulsory licensing. They may ask you regarding infringement. They may ask you regarding the post-grant position. They may ask you regarding pre-grant positions. They may ask you regarding anything. Therefore, you have to memorize this. And the good part is that you have this all these videos and PPTs are there. I think those that you have written it, that should be enough. But I would say that again, don't fall in a trap to memorize what is there in the slides. Again, that will be a big burden for you. And as you have noticed in the slides, because they are not reviewed again and again, and there are some mistakes, spelling mistakes are there, something is there. So if we just stop the video, just copy, take a screenshot and then memorize it, it may be dangerous for you. So what I suggest that you take a note of it and you can make your own notes similarly, okay? And these slides can help you, okay? So this is done. So this is how we are going to get questions in part A. Now let's come in part B. Explain between the different provisions of Act for the following: role of patent agent. Okay. Criteria for disqualification of patent agent. You see, very straightforward. Which section they are asking about? Role of patent agent. Yes, anyone? Which
Sir,
section?
Section 125, Register of Patent Agents. Rights of Patent Agent 127.
Role of patent agent, na?
Yes, sir. So it's not actually clearly anywhere mentioned role of patent agent, but rights of patent agent we can write in this.
Which section you said?
127, and Register of Patent Agent is also, we can mention 125, section 125.
Section 125.
127 and 125.
Wait. Section 127, rights of patent agent, and role of patent agent. Okay. Rights of patent agent 73. And what patent agent can do? 127.
Sir, 128, we can also mention subscription and verification of certain documents by patent agents.
Correct. So that is the most important one. So this is the what patent agent can do, what others cannot do. Okay. And 127 and 28. 128. So role of patent agent, and also like you need to give emphasis on this point. Like if you are not a patent agent and if you behave a patent agent, then you will be fined, right?
Yes.
And criteria for disqualification of patent agent. It is under which section? Which rule? I think it is under rule, right?
Sir, penalties, in also penalties it is mentioned.
Correct. Criteria for disqualification.
Section 123, practice by non-registered patent agent.
No. It is under rules. Rule 114.
114, yes.
114. Disqualification of registration as patent agent. Okay. So you see, if you write wrong sections, then you will not get a mark. Is it clear, no? So these mistakes happens. I mean, you may have memorized the sections, but while writing the answers, if you write wrong sections, then you will not get mark. This one, explain the provisions, various provisions in the prevailing patent rules for expedited examinations, a small entity and a startup. So these questions have been asked from the rules. Okay, section 24B, C, and I just told you about a small entity and a startup. All those you have to memorize those things. Okay, section 24C, expedited examination application, that is mentioned there, and again, which one? A small entity and a startup. So they are in rule. Which rule?
2FA, small entity,
and 2FB.
2FB, yeah, startup.
Okay. So I would say that while I was answering the question, I forgot 2FB. I mean, I was not able to recall. 2FA I had a small entity, but in a hurry, I forgot to write 2FB. But I wrote section, I wrote rule 2, but I didn't write 2FB. So I will not get marks, proper marks for this. And then question number 7. Okay. So you see this question, this type of question is very long. You should not take more time to read this question. Can anyone tell what is the good way to read this question from a start without wasting time? Any idea? What is a good way to write this? Read this question paper. This question. I mean, you see, this is a very long question, right? So if you read once, then twice, then thrice, then fourth, and if you don't have any proper way to read this kind of long questions with so many dates, what happens? You are going to lose a lot of time and you may get frustrated. So see, how I would propose is like this. You draw a line, put a line, okay? Put a line out here. And then like signature. How line comes here? Okay, leave it. So you just put a line out here. Okay, put a line and start putting dates on those lines. Then it becomes very easy for you. Okay. So Mr. Datta, a research scholar of Indian University, invented one watch. Okay. So write invention watch. Okay. Quickly write. So you already started writing your answer. So what you do, you leave some, write question number 7 answer and leave some space above so that you can write preface. Okay. For example, when you write some email, right, and you don't know whom to address it. So you just write the body first and leave some blank here. Then you can write dear Prem or dear Prakash or dear Pathak. Whatever the case may be, I do good greetings for the day or happy new year or anything. So you don't know what you want to start with or as per our conversation. Okay. So you always leave some space above. So in this kind of question, write question 7, leave a space above and start writing. So as I'm reading it, I start writing it out here. If you're not comfortable, then make a note in some rough space. So what it says, Mr. Datta, a research scholar of Indian University, invented one watch. So as a patent agent, we are interested in what is invention. So invention is watch. Invention is watch, which acts as an alarm for senior citizen and patient to respective call centers of registered hospital for emergency support. So watch for emergency support. Okay. In meantime, Mr. Datta has approached central government to approve a financial grant. Okay. So step 2, Mr. Datta approached central government, written here, for financial grant. Okay. Purpose is written, grant of invention. So as I'm reading, I'm also writing the answers also. Okay. Okay. So do you see, as I'm reading it, I'm just making notes and notes appear to my answers. And I will just add pretext or some sentences before this so that it supports what I have written as a note. Okay. And even if I don't get much time, I may get some marks, 1 or 2 marks for my summarization of this question. So he approached central government financial grant for invention and had a discussion with concerned officials of the said department. Mr. Datta exhibited his invention in industrial fair organized by government in Pragati Maidan, Delhi. Now time starts. Draw a line. 15 February exhibited in exhibition organized by government. Okay. So if it is organized by government, then this anticipation rules comes in picture. What is that? Organized by government. It comes in which one? Anticipation. Can anyone tell?
29.
29. Okay. One of his colleagues in the same laboratory published this information in leading newspaper on March 2015. Okay. So this is published on February 2015. I put a date. And then March 2015, published by a friend, laboratory. Anyway, you can write without his consent. Just mention that without consent of inventor. Meanwhile, he has attended one awareness program on patent in Delhi on 5th March 2015. Okay. So 2nd March. So 15 March was the government organized exhibition. 2nd March his friend published, but at that time he was not aware of the patent and what to do. But on 5th March, right, line 5th March, he attended. Then immediately on 10th March, okay, he filed a provisional specification before the patent office. Okay, so these dates are important. And then what is important? What is the gap? 12 months is there or not? That is important now. Patent Office Delhi and subsequently filed complete specification on 10 December. So he filed provisional on 10 March and he filed complete on 10 December. So see, already all dates are there on your paper sheet. So that is also counted that you prepare a nice summary sheet of the question. And now you don't have to read this. Okay, and then you can apply your knowledge of this patent act and rules to answer the question, because very easy. Okay, otherwise, if you don't make this kind of summarization, you may read 2 times or 3 times, and then you will get frustrated. And the only thing that you can do is leave this question out after losing 15 minutes or 20 minutes of time. That is that cannot be more disastrous than this. That you read this question for 20 minutes and then leave it. Okay, and so you have the provisional dates, and you also have the complete specification date, and you see that 10 March and 10 December. This is within 12 months, so we are fine. So he's safe. So the question is not regarding the 12 months of provisional or by date. The question is something different. Okay, Mr. Datta is not sure whether exhibition and publication in newspaper or communication with government official would hamper his patent protection or not. Hence, he seeks your advice. Give appropriate advice in writing to your clients as a practicing patent agent, quoting relevant sections of the Patent Act. So I think this is entire on anticipation. Okay, so be specific while writing. Section 29, anticipation by previous publication. So A and B is there, and then anticipation by previous communication to government. Okay, section 30 is there. Section 31, anticipation by public display is there. Okay, so all those things are there. So you have to write. Now everything is there, and now you understood. So you can advise. Now my advice is that, so you have to mention the events and then appropriate sections, and then you advise, is it good or bad for him? Okay, so first event was he communicated to government. So section 30 says anticipation by previous community government. An invention claimed in complete specification shall not be deemed to have been anticipated by reasons only to the communication to government of the invention to the government or any person outside the government to investigate the invention or its merit or anything done in consequence of such communication for the purpose of the investigation. So financial grants requires investigations. Okay, so it comes under this. So this act is not harmful for him. Okay, so section 30. Similarly, he published anticipation by public display, then 31A, and then without consent, 31C without consent. All this comes in picture, so you have to write accordingly. So according to section this, so I would propose that you start practicing like this, according to section this, and underline these sections. So it becomes very easy. Okay, so and always learn to leave a space and try to be very short in your answers. Don't try to write lengthy answer, thinking that because this is a long answer type of question, right? So it says 10 marks, right? 3 to 10. This is 10 mark answers. Okay, so it did not be like 5-6 pages for 10 marks. Okay, 10 marks means it is very clear that more than 2-3 sections are going to come here, and some space will be required. But if you are sure that you have written all the sections that is required, all the rules, all the fees are required, then you are done. You don't have to fill the entire pages. So that you should make sure, and that is what I attempted. Now comes the part C. Okay, so I would propose that let us take a break of say 5 minutes, so that we are more fresh, and then we'll finish that part C then. Is it fine?